I really didn't think that I would be following up thumb wrestling. I think that the topic is totally suited to come right off the back of something that high energy, right? Woo, organisations. All right, but that said, I am going to start with some audience participation. I want to take some audience polls, mostly because I just want to get to know who's in the room a little bit through some compromising questions. All right, so all you have to do to participate is put up your hand, okay? So I'm going to ask a question. The first one's a warm-up. You're going to put up your hand if you think it's okay to break up with a new partner. Let's say you've been going out for 2 months. You're going to put up your hand if you think it's okay to break up with a new partner via text. Oh, yeah, there's 1, 2. I knew that was going to go. Okay. Yeah, thank you. I like the honest people in the room to say, oh. Now we know who's in the room, just so you know. Go and talk to those people afterwards. All right, we're going to take that one a little bit further. Hands up if you think it's okay to break up with a long-term life partner. So we're saying 10 years, joint bank accounts, kids and a house. Hands up if it's okay to break up with a long-term life partner via text or email. Oh, no. All right, next one. There's someone who's like, oh, sitting on the fence. That's good. All right, next one. I want you to imagine that you're in your kitchen and you remember that you have a party this weekend. You really want to impress everyone there, so you need to get yourself a new suit or a new dress. So you jump online, shop around, and you find the perfect one. It's like the right cut for your body, the right colour to bring out your eyes. It's just perfect. You're really excited. Can you tell? All right, so then you go to hit buy, and up flashes a message. Bap, bap, bap. Like that. You cannot spend this much money. Your limit is $20. So my question, is it okay to subject someone else to financial control? Hands up if yes. Ooh, no hands, okay. Surprising. Last one. I want you to put your hand up if you would apply for a role with that lists the following perks. Competitive salary, innovative workplace. They all say that. Let's say it has the opportunity to develop an anxiety disorder, moderate to severe bullying, guaranteed unhappiness, they'll always pay you as little as they can, and they also offer a long commute, which you don't get paid for. Hands up if you're going to apply for that role. Oh, that guy really needs a job. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I put those in and I knew the results were going to be low because fundamentally we know those behaviours are not okay to subject people to. But in the field that I work in, I see them every day in organisations. So if we subjected our organisations to what I call the humanity test, if we looked at them like people, they would be some of the worst kinds of people. Now, don't get me wrong, I really believe in the work that we can do as humans when we're put together, but I'm really genuinely disappointed most of the time when I see the way that organisations act towards their staff. And I'm going to give you an example of why. Whoa, I don't know what that was. That was not mine. All right, so this is 100 employees in an organisation. Research tells us that the average organisation has less than half who are happy to be there. It also has 14% who are engaged in their work. If you flip that, that's 86% of staff who are disengaged. 86%. Now, I think those numbers are a problem for at least 2 reasons. The first is productivity. We know that happy, engaged staff just work better. We know that. So having this level, 86% of disengagement, kills your productivity in an organisation, whether you know it or not. The second reason it's a problem is a human one. We're in Western Sydney right now, and from my part of Western Sydney, where I live, it takes an hour and a half from my door to get to the CBD. What that means practically is that we get up in the dark and cold for a big part of the year We leave our families and our homes and everyone's all tucked up in bed. We go and do our work and we come home and it's dark again. Work is the biggest part of our day. Money used to be enough to buy that trade, but it's actually not anymore. How work is while we're there, and it's such a big part of our lives, really matters to us now. So people are expecting more of organisations as a result, and I'm really okay with that. I really think that we should think about how work is a part of our life. But organisations are really struggling with that shift. I mean, money used to be enough to just buy you staff. People used to trade their time for financial security, stability, and certainty, but they don't do that anymore. Research is telling us that they're far more motivated by things like acknowledgement, recognition, support. And the sooner everyone deals with that, the better our organisations and our workplaces will get. Now, in all of the organisations that I work with, they start out saying, hey, that's not me. I'm one of the good guys. But we don't know what we don't know. And it's actually really hard for us to see beyond what we know about organisations because they're all we've known. So what I'm going to give you today is I'm going to give you a way to look outside of what you know about organisations. There are three things, 3 Ps, that write the rules in organisations. And they are purpose, people, and power. And assumptions about these things make organisations. And I want to give you an example. I want you to think about leave. You know, when you start a new job, you're told how much leave you can take. This much annual leave, this much sick leave, this much parental leave, etc., etc. I want you to take a minute and think about why that's in place. Is the assumption under the second P here, people, is the assumption that if you don't cap people's leave, they will take too much? So the assumption is people can't be trusted, people will try and take advantage of us, so as an organisation we need to have rules across the board to cap people's leave. I mean, it may not be, but it's so common that I think in a lot of organisations, without realising it, is. And when you sign that contract with those conditions in it, when you start work, that actually makes it about the third P, which is power, which says, I'm signing this contract, and the organisation is saying we, as the organisation, set the rules. So a whole bunch of small behaviours totally come from assumptions about how these 3 things work. What the next evolution of organisations is showing us is that our current systems, the ones we know, are mostly based on mistrust and control of people. They take a very dim view of what people are capable of and what they're going to bring with them to work. I think it's a pretty fair bet that if your staff can turn up to work on time, in a car that functions, they've got kids off to school, they live in a house, they cook with fire and knives, and you've employed them because they know how to do some things, that they're probably fine to do most of their work without excessive management. But we still unconsciously create places where trust is the scarcest commodity. And I mean, this is starting to change. We're starting to see the next version of organisations that are actually changing their Ps. Did you know that there are market-leading organisations, and we're talking kind of 66% market share, that don't have any managers? Not a single one. What they do is staff self-organise and self-manage, and that changes the dynamics around the Ps entirely. It changes the organisational architecture. There are organisations that don't have any financial delegations. Any staff member can make any financial decision in the company. There are organisations that don't have HR departments where staff who are going to work with the new person do the hiring. And there are organisations that are so much about their purpose that they pay environmental advocates to do nothing but advocate on environmental causes. That's it. So what I'm saying is that everything you know about organisations as you've seen them can and should be challenged because they're mostly built on old, outdated foundations of these 3 Ps. What do I want you to do? 2 things. The first thing is have higher expectations. We settle a lot for what we know and what we think the rules are. The first thing is to know that and have higher expectations of our organisations. Ask, what is this place telling me about how it sees me? Subject it to the humanity test. Does it act like a good, decent person would act? The second thing is start a change journey from wherever you are. Every organisation can do this and be people-centred. You can work towards purpose, you can be a good place to work and be good for your people, and you can have a healthy bottom line. That's actually a win-win-win. But it starts with you, it starts with us, it starts with us all together, and it starts with organisations as well, all connected. So the way you do that is just start with humanity. Just start being human. Laugh, cry, live your values, live who you are in your workplace. Support others and support managers. And if you're a leader, that's going to revolutionarily change everything around your little section. But if you're at the bottom and you don't have power, what you can do is exercise personal power. Systems work as clusters, and if you can make your little cluster countercultural, your little team, your section, if you can change that for the better, what you do is then carry that out with you and start affecting other clusters and start saying things like, no, that's not how we work. Also, don't be the systems messenger. When you're asked to do something inhuman, be a human and work out how you make the rules change to work for people. That's the only way that rules change. Okay, final audience poll. Hands up if you would apply for a role with the following perks. We'll always try... That guy still wants a job. Someone talk to him after. All right. So the perks, we'll always try and pay you what you're worth, honestly. We'll always try and make sure that work is a good place for you and everyone else to be. We'll let you exercise expertise. We'll let you do good quality work that you're proud of. And we'll also let you work towards a purpose that you care about. Hands up if you'd apply for that job. Ah, nice. Me too. And also, I know that that organisation that's offering that job is going to outperform the one with 14% engagement every single time. People-centred organisations are good business. Thank you.